Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. Got some fun stuff to do today, which by fun stuff I mean not necessarily super fun stuff, but we got to do it anyway. So yeah, let's get right into it. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis, which is the game that I'm working on, it now has a Steam page, and I'm also happy to announce that I have the automated build pipeline deploying to Steam now as well. So that was a critical piece to get the playtest ready so that I can rapidly deploy new builds in case there are bugs or anything. Having automated processes for that stuff is always very nice. So anyway, yeah, we're just getting ready for the playtest. There's a couple of different like loose ends to tie up before the playtest is ready. And then of course I need to coordinate the creation of the Patreon and the Discord and the first devlog of this game all together. But we're very close, So hopefully within the next week or two, I can have the playtest in your hands. But yeah, it's got a Steam page so you can wishlist it. And also there's Gunforged. Again, no one cares about that anymore. And then also I have my Udemy courses. The link for those are in the description below. This one is the most recent one, Create a Complete Online Co-op Multiplayer Game. It's highest rated. Are you gonna listen to the other reviewers? I mean, come on, it's a good course. It's a great way to support me, and it's a great way to learn how to build online cooperative multiplayer games in the Godot engine. So if that's something that interests you, definitely check it out. I'd appreciate that. And of course, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I'll say hello to everyone. I unfortunately didn't have my little app running, so I missed the first couple of comments here, but welcome, Adam. Good to see you again. Dorka, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Ben, welcome back. Was just watching a Firebelly vid, and saw the notification. Very nice. Which video were you watching? Hello, Sam Studio. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Meep, Cinema Time once again. Jack, good morning to you as well. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Always generous. We've got the Yummers, of course. We all love the Yummers, don't we, folks? Welcome back, Snupbill. Always good to see you, and thank you again. Rookie Tookie, welcome, welcome. Yummers, the Game Jam one. Oh, very nice. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Alrighty, so yeah, what we got going on here is I gotta make a bunch of menus here. So I'm gonna make a pause menu, a settings menu. Those two things will tie together. There will be a way to like abandon the run and all that good stuff. I'm gonna make these very, very basic, just using the stuff that I already have. The settings menu is probably gonna be the trickiest one. I'm gonna need to add some, well, maybe I don't need to make it that complicated actually. Yeah, we're gonna do these very, very basic, but the goal for the stream is to do these top 3 cards here. Make escape, close card inspector, pause menu, and settings menu. The pause menu is actually not really gonna pause anything, I don't think. Well, I guess it should. Yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out. And then the rest of this stuff is just like stuff that I have to do off stream. So the streams are going to be a little bit weird this week because the playtest build is basically going to be done. And so maybe for the rest of the streams this week, maybe I'll just add more content. Because, you know, more content can't necessarily hurt the playtest. I think I also probably need to do some more rounds of testing. So more rounds of internal playtesting. Balance feeling good. I wonder if I should do like maybe post a roadmap to Discord. Oh, tentative roadmap. Sorry, just random things coming to my mind right now. Anyway, let's do this one first. So right now, when I have the card inspector open, escape doesn't close it, which feels very awkward, even for me, because I press escape all the time to escape out of things, you know? And it doesn't work in this game, so we're going to fix that. I thought it would be able to check out your courses with the Udemy sub provided by my employer, but alas, it's not business related. Yeah, I've tried to get into the business program, and I think Udemy is kind of selective about what things are in the business like subscription. I don't think there's anything that I can do on my end to include that. So, but I have good news, Jack, which is that if you subscribe to the highest tier Patreon, which will be coming out within a few weeks, you will get unlimited access to all of my course content while you're subscribed. So that may be a good option for you. The latest one in the list. Good morning, V. Welcome back. Is there already a run save system? No, there's no save system whatsoever. I'm not even going to bother saving the options even. The playtest is going to be very bare bones. You should view it as like an alpha vertical slice, where it's basically the only goal is to give you a feel for how the game is going to play and what the mechanics are like, but it's going to be missing a lot of features. And I don't really want to work on a save system either until I've figured out like what a full run looks like in terms of, you know, how long it is and what the different factions you fight are and how the map changes. I think I need a clearer picture of how all that's going to work before I implement the save system. So yeah. Good morning, Ninja Link. Welcome back. Good to see you. D-Zoe or D-Zo. Hello. Welcome. Good to see you. Menta. Hello. Do you have a video on game design or how to create game ideas? I don't, because as a general rule, I don't create videos instructing on stuff that I don't know that much about. I'm still trying to figure out game design myself, so I don't have the confidence required to share what I've learned with other people. Would you in the future be willing to do a Discord chat with new devs showing them how you would code or make the game? Basically helping them make their game. I don't think so, but something I can consider. I mean, I think with the Patreon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have exclusive Discord channels for the Patreon members, and I'll probably be more active in those channels than in maybe the more public channels. So that may be kind of like a way that you could maybe ask me questions if you want to. I'm alpha, all right. Sounds like a good deal. Hello, Carnico, welcome. Good afternoon to you. Good morning, Night Raven Games. Good to see you. Hello, Yeet. Welcome back. Persistent data in Godot is so confusing. I just use JSON all the time. That's, I just use JSON. I don't... A lot of people can, like... I don't know why. People, like, insist on, like, saving data in custom resources and using the Godot resource serialization for all that stuff. It's like... Just use JSON, you know? If your game is not super complex... Even Alchemortis, which has complex mechanics, it doesn't have a complex game state. Like, I just basically need to save, you know, well, maybe it's actually going to be kind of complex. Oops, wait a minute. It might actually be somewhat complex to save this game. I spoke too soon, because I need to save your inventories, but all the individual card states as well, in terms of, like, what tier they are, what their crit chance is, what abilities they have. Oh no, that might actually end up being quite interesting. We will figure that out later. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. What's the Patreon tier that makes it where you have to laugh at all my jokes? Maybe I'll set one up just for you, Adam. It'll be $500 a month. If it's alpha, it needs a werewolf. Okay. Hello, Matthias. How do you avoid burnout when you're working on a project? That's a good question. In my experience, I don't know if I've really had burnout per se. There were periods of Gunforge development where I didn't want to work on the game, not necessarily because I was burnt out, but because I didn't really, the game wasn't really feeling that fun. And I think that was demotivating, so I wasn't like inclined to work on it. So I don't really know if I've ever experienced like true burnout. I think most of the times where I felt demotivated to work on my games, it's because there's like a fundamental problem with it that makes it not fun to work on. And so my advice taking that angle is if you're not having fun working on the game, then maybe that's a signal that there's something fundamentally wrong with the game. That it's not fun to play for whatever reason, or the mechanics aren't working well together, or maybe it's just not that good of an idea to begin with and you need to rethink some major things. That's my experience, though. I don't know if I can provide much better advice than that. Excited for the Discord? Yes, indeed. SQLite would recommend using SQLite as a save format? Yeah, true. JSON is seen as inefficient space-wise. I guess that's why. I mean, it might be, but like, even if a JSON file was 10 megabytes, which would be huge, that's like nothing, right? I don't know. I'm not very dogmatic about like minimizing memory usage or minimizing disk space. It's like people have got like people have got like 2 and 4 terabyte drives in their systems. If my JSON takes up 10 megabytes, it's like whatever, you know? I don't care. I'm gonna eat up your disk drive space and you're gonna like it. And just like that, it unravels, yeah. Patreon sounds like a good idea. It makes a lot of sense to create content while you're developing. I think so, yeah. IDR 500 a month? No. 500 USD. USD. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Let's, so yeah, in this card inspector here, if I press escape, nothing happens. So that should be relatively easy to handle. Project settings, input map. There are these built-in UI, like UI cancel. I don't know why. I just don't like using the built-in UI stuff. I like to create my own actions. Maybe that's bad, but add. Escape. In the words of our favorite blue fish from Finding Nemo, escape. Oh, is Godot gonna crash now? Goodbye, Godot. Goodbye. Why does this happen? I pushed the engine too hard. I had the audacity to try to assign a keybind to an action, and it crashed. Let's go again. I'm sure you could compress JSON on disk if it were a major concern. Yeah. And if you were getting to the point where JSON is actually huge, like you're getting into the hundreds of megabytes, then yeah, maybe you could make the argument that, yeah, JSON is not the right format for that. But I have a hard time. I guarantee you that whatever save file I create for this game, it's going to be less than 50 kilobytes. I guarantee it. All right, so let's see. What was I doing? I guess, oh yeah, I was gonna assign this. Okay. So let's go to the card inspector. Input. If not is playing out and event is action pressed. Action click right. Why am I using that here? This should be game constants dot action click right. Or vt dot is action pressed. Game constants action escape. Public static read only string name. Okay. I think that will work. Let's shake 2 hands on 2 chestnuts and 1 stick a month. Okay. Okay. I ended up spending 10 hours making one feature, dice spawning. It started with 100 lines of code and only working 20% of the time to 38 lines and working 100%. Felt exhausted and amazing. That's great. That's really good. I think, yeah, that when that kind of thing happens, when you can make your code more reliable and cleaner with less code. Okay. So that's escape is working here. So now the tricky part is going to be with the input handling for bringing up the pause menu. Because obviously if this is in context and I press escape, I want that to be handled first before the pause menu gets brought up. But that works at a very basic level, so. Cool. That was a relatively easy one. Now let's set up a pause menu. Should I set up the pause menu first? I guess it doesn't matter. I actually don't know if I want to create a new folder for this. Let's just save it in here. Okay. Layout, container sizing, shrink. Add another margin container, theme overrides, 8 across the board, add child node, label, or no, VBox container, add child node label, paused. Let's change this theme variation to header label. Might be too big, but that's all right. Resume. I might change this label size actually. That looks nicer to me. Now, why is this resume? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I have to do this. Custom button. Maybe the bigger text was better. I don't know. I don't know. Resume options. Quit to menu button. Or maybe I'll call this like abandon. No, I guess we'll just do quit to menu. I think it's just gonna kind of look awkward no matter what I do. I need to do a pass on like all these panel containers. Make them look nicer. What did I just do? Oh, here. Okay, that'll be fine. It's okay. It doesn't need to be super perfect. Theme overrides, let's do a separation of 8 maybe. That'll work, that's fine. So now we need to do this. Process always, and while I'm thinking of it, let's do cursor. Process always. Okay, we can add a script here. Game.ui. Public override void ready. Get tree.paused is equal to true. Then we need the various buttons. Node, private button, resume button, node, private button, options button, quit to menu button. Okay. So now we need to spawn this whenever I press escape. I suppose that can be done in the run manager here. Instantiate a child scene. Let's load that as a placeholder. The run manager is doing a little bit too much here, but that's all right. Oh wait, this is an instance placeholder. Pause menu placeholder. Okay. Now we can override the input. Public override void input. If input dot, no, if ebt dot is action pressed, game constants dot action escape, get viewport dot set input as handled, pause menu placeholder, create instance. Okay. And then in the pause menu here, we're going to override the input as well. EBT.is action pressed, action escape. All right. Let's see if that much works at least. Wasn't there for the past 2 streams. Did you finish the combat UI and system or combat log and system? Yeah, I did. I wouldn't say it's finished necessarily, but it's functional. I have to do like a UI pass on this game, I think. But yeah, the combat log is here. So if I go into a combat, you can see it. Let's see. Here we go. Go into a combat here. By the way, for everyone who heard the music of the game on Saturday, I shared your feedback with my friend and he was very appreciative, so I'm glad you all liked the music. So here's the combat log from that. So you could toggle it with this button. Again, it's not the best UI in the world, but it's functional, so we'll leave it be for now. Anyway, so if I do escape, got pause here. The shaders still run in the background. I think that's okay. Cool. So now we got to make that functional. Actually, I should be able to click resume. Why does that not work? Oh, I've got some errors. Yeah. I forgot to mark these as unique names. I'm pretty sure that's going to work. Godot crash out, yeah. Good morning, Emerson. Welcome back. Time to use flat buffers for save files. Yeah, maybe. Good day, sir. So I entered the Brackets Game Jam and have a question. Are you cool with me using your course material as a basis for the jam? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You can feel free, any of my tutorial content or course material you can feel free to use for your own purposes. I specifically use royalty-free / public domain assets in my courses so that you have the rights to use it all as well. Actually, I think in my courses I stick purely to public domain assets, which means that I can give them to you with no issues, and then you can also use them however you want. So what is this game about? You can check out the Steam page, meme. It's linked, the first line in the description. But basically, it's a collectible card game grid inventory management auto battler with necromancy, medieval science, and alchemy themes, where the hook is that you can alchemize cards together to create more powerful combinations of cards. But yeah, definitely check out the Steam page. Gonna head out for a walk and then game dev. Alchemortis looks super good. You really made a lot of progress since I last was here. Thank you, Night Raven Games. Enjoy your walk and thanks for joining. New run button. You should also add your links and whatever to the main menu. Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, I have that for the main menu, yeah. How long have you been making games? Since I was 14. Since I was 14. I'm 30 now, so 16 years. Boo, Mondays, woo, Firebelly stream, yeah. Fancy new pause menu, yep. Elevator pitch incoming. Yep, I gotta nail that elevator pitch. Oh, I finished this. Let's move that over. So I guess we can just animate this in now. Put a pass-through control there. Just copy and pasting code, you know? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, let's see if that works. Wishlisted. Thank you, Ertos. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. It is a lot of buzzwords, though, yeah. I don't know. I think the buzzwords are helpful. I don't know how else I'm going to describe the game. I'm open to suggestions, though. I forgot to call play in here. Good morning, Neozoid. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Pocket Pixie, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Das K. Always good to see you as well. Should probably make that quicker, I guess. Let's try 0.25. I should skip the menu here. Should skip the menu. What am I doing? Tween, active tween. Ugh. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. Menus, yeah, fun, fun. Menus, menus. Oh, I know the problem. Okay. I really gotta skip the menu. Let's see what it looks like when we're in combat here. Maybe I should dim the screen. How did I do that? Card inspector. Oh, look at that. Screen dimmer material. Screen dimmer material. I guess I'll just copy this. Can I just copy this? Is that gonna break anything? I'm kind of curious. This might not work. They might need to do a back buffer copy. Okay, let's change this. Project settings. Okay. Seems to work. And that escape works there too. Cool. I wonder if I should do the same thing on the other notices too. Seems to work. Okay, that's fine. So now we got to fill out the options. We can get the quit to menu working though. Let's see, basic pause menu in place. Let's get quit to menu working. On quit to menu press, disable buttons, visual await, visual utilities, dot fade out screen rect, get tree, dot change scene to file, game constants dot main menu ID. I wonder if that's gonna work, or if I think I might need a back buffer copy somewhere here. I wonder why that didn't work. Hold on a second. Oh, because I'm skipping the menu. Why did that happen? Oh, because the tree is still paused. That's what's happening. Cool. Now the reason it's not going to the menu is because I have skip menu on, so we'll turn that off. Nice, yeah, it's turning out good. I think it's just personal preference, but you could have two options, one for quit to menu and other to quit the game. Yeah, I think there's a quit here, so I think we'll just stick with these buttons for now, but we can certainly add more. I think it's working. I think it's working. So now we got to start on the options menu. How do I want to do this? Let's see. I'll probably make it a separate scene. Options menu. I'll just put it in here. I'm gonna cheat somewhat. This is going to look a little bit weird. Yeah, those buttons are probably a little bit too big. Let's see. That doesn't look very good. Do I want to create a condensed version of this button just for this screen? I could do a slider as well, but I don't really want to do a slider. Let's see. Input map. I have a debug in here that can take a screenshot. So what I might do is let's get rid of this stuff. Let's just run this scene here. Okay, F1. Now if I go into A sprite, we'll just draw a slider. All right, so now we got a screenshot in here and I can just draw on this now. So I can see all the relative sizes of everything. Should probably put, let's do this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Oops. I'm not going to align it perfectly in here, but we just want to make sure it looks good, I suppose. Something like that. Doesn't need to be super complicated. Do I want to add highlights? So yeah, I guess it's just, you know, super basic, I suppose. Do something like that, I suppose. Oops. Okay. I think that works pretty well as a slider, I guess. Do I need a fill? Let's see. Duplicate this. I'm missing some of my colors. There we go. I think that's decent. It's okay. Quick and dirty. Is there also a slider knob? If so, it could be a little skull. Yeah, I need to do a slider knob. That's the next thing to do for sure. So we could do a skull, a little skull slider. If I can draw one, we'll find out, I guess. I like the skull idea. The other is to make a vertical bar, make it a candle. Yeah, I could do that too. Yeah, we'll try with a skull maybe, and we'll see what that does. Okay, but I need to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll draw the handle for it, and then we'll also try to get this integrated into the game. Actually, one thing I want to do is probably just put these pixels here for the border. I think that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so I'll take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll draw the handle for this, and we'll get it integrated into the game, and hopefully we can get all these menus wrapped up in this stream. So again, Alchemortis is available for wishlist. The Steam page is linked as the first item in the description below. So check that out if you're interested, and I'll be right back in just 3 minutes. Hello, I'm back. Hello, hello. Good morning, Chris. Welcome back. Good to see you. As always, hello, Johan. It's both painful and refreshing finishing something up for release. I can usually feel my standards dropping by the hour, yeah. It's true. Perfection is the enemy of progress, so refreshing in that sense. Yeah, for sure. Yep, you kind of have to know when to quit, for sure. Okay, so now I gotta figure out how to get this into the game. I always get confused with how the progress bars work. Let's see. We'll add it to the theme. Do I want to do a progress bar? Or a H slider? No, I think I want to do an H slider. Is this an H slider? Oh, yeah. Grabber, highlight. Oh. Grabber area, highlight, slider. A background for the whole slider affects the height or width of grabber area. Grabber area. Okay, well, let's just roll with it. Slider border. Selected layers, selection. Oh, did I not save this? Oh, I'm saving it on the screenshot. Oops. That's okay. Slider border, boom. Okay, so grabber, so we'll add the slider here. New Starbucks texture. Do I have to use a 3x3 texture box here? Expand margins. 124 by 12. So let's do this. Add in here. Let's just do an H slider. What did I say it was? 124 by 12, I think. Something tells me that didn't work. Is there like a hacky way to do this? Hold on a second. Edit region. Ah, I hacked it. Very nice. Okay, so the grabber area, I'm gonna get rid of this grabber here. This is ridiculous. I said get rid of the grabber. Okay, anyway. Grabber area. Stylebox texture. quick load, slider fill, texture margins. Well, let's just edit the subregion here. Okay, maybe think I need to do it a different way. Let's do this. Get the slider border and the slider fill. Export this. This is a little awkward. Setting these up is also is always a little bit awkward. Slider, let's see. Min value, max value step 0.01. Current value 0.5. Okay, yeah, that works. Although, shoot. That doesn't look right. The grabber is not in the right position. Probably because I actually don't know how to set this up. Expand margins right. Let's try playing with that. So the expand margin 12 on the right. Is that going to do it? Oh, that should work. I think. I don't know. What happens if I set the value to 1 here? I can't see that dang grabber. Let's just get this configured real quick. Slider fill active. That should be the same way. Oh no. All right, I have to do select this, slider border, slider fill active. Okay, that works now. I can't tell. It doesn't look right, actually. Does it need to be... Okay, we'll just do that. Oh yeah, that's way off. That's way off. I actually don't know how to do this. Quit while you're ahead, indeed, yeah. Our favorite niche internet e-celeb is back. Oh, that always cracks me up. I don't like how these sliders work. Sorry, Godot. it needs to maintain the padding on both sides. But the problem is that when I shrink it down to 0.5, that's not halfway through. I think there's got to be a way that I can work this here. Oh, there's content margins. Oh, that's probably what I need. Okay, let's change this. I think I just need the content margins. Okay. I think I'm setting the content margin on the wrong thing. I think it needs to be set on the slider itself. Here we go. Nope. Why did none of these numbers do anything? Oh, wait. Probably related to this hack that I did. But the problem is it's going to start tiling weirdly if I set this up like this. I don't want to do it this way. I just want a static texture. I don't want to use a 3x3, 9 slice rect. I don't want to use a 9 slice rect for this. I just want a texture. I might have to do this in separate pieces. Will this game be localized? I don't know. I don't know. We will see. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Goose. I don't think I can do it this way. Oh, man. Why is this so difficult? Why can't I just say I want the slider to be a static background? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. This is 124 by 12. What happens if I set the content margin in here? It's 5, so I'll do... I don't know. This is so confusing. Why does Godot make this so difficult? 6, 2. This is nuts. I don't think I can do what I'm trying to do here. All right. New style box, empty. We're gonna have to create a new scene for this. That sucks. New scene. Custom slider. Custom slider, boom. I'm just gonna do this. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see how it works with the grabber. Now I don't know why it's not showing up. Oi, this is a mess. It's okay. We need to do 6 pixels margin in the top. Okay. I don't think I need to set a bottom margin, but I do need to set a left margin. 11, it should be 11 on this side as well, right? Yep. Okay, now why is this not working all of a sudden? This is so confusing. Why are you doing this? What in the heck? All right. This just gets messier and messier. This is the most unintuitive nonsense. Okay. We'll just do that. 2, 1. We'll set it here as well. And then we'll just move this down another one. Okay. It's fine. Now my grabber area highlight is not working. Why is that not working? What is even going on? Top, bottom. Okay, let's just do this. Copy, paste, make unique. Go here. Okay. Quick load. Slider fill active. Okay, that's fine. Just use a text direct, it'll be 2 pieces, but like whatever. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I mean, that's not the way it should work, but it's fine. I volunteered to help with the German localization. Thank you. Pig equals bratwurst pre-assembly. That's funny. What's the Jira clone you're using for game dev? It's Obsidian with the Kanban community plugin. Hello, Amras. Hope everything's going well. It is going well, thank you. Just wanted to say I'm new to game dev and I am binge watching all your content. Thanks for the great work. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And welcome to the stream. Hello to Fine Dottie, welcome back. We're working on menus today, trying to get a options menu working right now. Did you see that Team Cherry's dev said that Silksong took too long because they're having too much fun making it? I did see that, yeah. Sorry, but I love the struggle. It makes me feel better about knowing how to do things. Yeah, a lot of times with game dev, it's like there's a lot of weird edge cases and hacky things you have to do when you're using an engine. I've never found this way of styling like sliders and whatnot very intuitive. It's just something that I struggle with repeatedly. The slider seems to be made for a very specific purpose, which is seems to be made for the purpose of like if you have a slider that's not very visually complex, but yeah, if you need like what I'm doing here, then you have to separate it into 2 parts and it's a little bit weird. But anyway, let's do the grabber now. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to draw a skull, I guess. Oh, maybe I did this wrong. One second. I think this does need to be this color here. I feel like that's weird. I'll just go the way that I was doing it before. It just looks a little bit weird with the shadows being sort of inverted, but I think it's okay, it's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect, I don't think. Okay. This is going to be a nightmare, I think, but we'll see. Yeah, so now the grabber has shifted downward, which is not ideal. But maybe I can just change the margin here. Let's see. We replaced Jira with Linear at work, and I love it. Oh, I haven't heard of that. I'm going to have to check that out. I'll help with the Alabama localization. Thank you, Adam, for your generous offer. Okay. Cool. So I think it's working. So now into our options menu. I don't know, I think it works. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to change this alignment here. Let's see. Is that roughly okay? There we go. That'll work. All right. There's a lot of stuff to do. Oh, we're gonna need some full screen stuff too. We'll say the pause menu, well, settings menu is in progress here. Hello, I'm dragging you over, sir. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. All right, I think it's working okay. I want to get rid of this. Okay, work on sliders and options menu. We're not even close to done with this options menu. After using Godot's UI system for the first time during GMTK, I can say I definitely prefer Unity's implementation, although I guess the style sheet systems are somewhat cool. I think the Godot UI system, the main problem with it is that it's unintuitive from like a user experience standpoint, but once you understand it, for the most part, it becomes very powerful, but it's just really hard. It's probably, for me, the UI system was the steepest learning curve when I started using Godot. I had to basically learn it through a bunch of trial and error, and that was not a great experience, but I was wondering what editor that was, and I just realized that Aseprite is a dark mode. That's a game changer. Yeah, looking good, thank you. We need bloom, said no one ever. Yeah. Hello, Gaming Shorts, welcome back. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now we gotta make this functional. Trying to think what the best way of doing this is. Yeah, I think what I'll do probably, just for now, I'm going to create an options. I don't know, options utils, namespace, game.util. Options utils, and then we'll Yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do in here. I think I can do... Can I do getters and setters on static? Public static float music volume. Yeah, we'll just do that. Public static float SFX volume, public static float is camera shake disabled. Yeah, we'll just deal with that for now. I'm just putting in this camera vector 2.0 shake offset. Why can't I? Oh, that's a Boolean. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to do that for the shaky canvas layer as well. Cool. So that setting is basically functional now. So we got to do the music volume and the SFX volume. I think what I want to do is, let's do this. Private static float get bus volume. Bus name. Okay, let's just see. Get bus index. Okay, let's do a string name in here. String name, bus name. Return audio server get bus volume linear. Private static float set bus volume. String name, bus name, float volume. Set bus volume linear. Oh, I don't want to return. Let's just do that. So now in here, private static read only string name bus music. So now in here, get bus volume, bus music, set bus volume there. We'll do the same thing here. Okay. So now with that, I can just set and read these properties, and that will just use the bus configuration as the source of truth, so I don't have to maintain two different values. And yeah, I think that's basically it. So then in my options menu here, or yeah, my options menu, I can listen for those sliders. So this is the music slider. This is the SFX slider. Access those as unique name. Screen shake toggle button. And then custom button here. This is the done button. So we got to create a script for this now. Game.ui, and I also need a script for the sliders here. What signal do I need to listen to on here? range changed, value changed. Emitted when value changes. When used on a slider, this is called continuously while dragging. If you are performing an expensive operation and a function connected to value change, consider debouncing a timer to call the function less often. Okay. So value change is what I probably want. Signal, public, delegate, void, value changed. Event handler. Public void set initial value. Node private h slider dot value is equal to options is equal to float. Okay. Why is this complaining? Why is that complaining? Am I missing something? On value changed, float val. What am I missing? I'm doing something. Oh, this is coming in as a double. Right, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So now I can connect all that in here. Whew, lots of setup here. Look, bloom can work if the game is right, but motion blur, that makes things objectively worse always. Yeah, first thing I do when I start up a new game, motion blur off, which I appreciated. I think in the Battlefield 6 beta, motion blur was off by default, which is like, yes, thank you. Thank you. The days of motion blur are behind us, and EA is ushering in a new era of non-blurry games for us. I meant motion blur. So many new names in the chat. Does that mean I can reuse some of my older puns again? Yeah, absolutely. I've always wanted to make a multiplayer game with Godot. Do you have any tips? Yeah, I have a multiplayer course in the Godot engine. So if you're interested, you could check that out. It's linked in the description below. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. As a new developer, I'm having too much problem to understand the coding logic, even for simple things. Any tips for that? Yeah, I think the thing you need to do is just, I've said this before, but like give yourself patience. If you're a new developer, you're going to hit a lot of walls. You're going to encounter a lot of things that don't make sense to you. And you have to expect that and be patient with yourself and just slowly work through it. And there's going to be times where, you know, you're going to be stuck on a relatively simple problem for hours, either because you don't know how to do it or the code you wrote is very buggy or whatever. And I would say that that's just part of the normal learning process, that you shouldn't feel discouraged. You should actually feel encouraged by that, because that means that you're encountering new scenarios that you need to learn about. So I don't know if that's exactly the advice you're looking for, but I think, yeah, the message is don't despair. That's normal. That's something that every new developer has to go through. And you just got to take it slow, one step at a time, and figure things out piece by piece. And if you do that enough, things will start to make a lot of sense. You'll start to get a fundamental understanding of what you're doing, and then you'll be able to write code that you want to write with little effort. Bloom is good when it isn't overused. Using it for some fire effects or random stray particles is fine. But when every single thing that gives off light is blooming, it can get annoying, yeah. Time for game dev once again. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. Welcome, welcome. Convenient plug opportunity. Yeah, my viewers tee me up for those kinds of things. Welcome back, Jack. Add a jump scare setting and a jump scare people when people enable it. Okay. Great suggestion. Oh, welcome back, genetically enhanced chicken. Good to see you. All right, I need another 3-minute break. We're going to try to finish this options menu. I do have to go in a half hour, but we're going to try to get this options menu as functional as possible within that time. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. When I come back, we will continue on. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back to me. So now we got to get this working. Oh, options menus are not fun to implement. Let me tell you what. Anyway, but enough complaining. We'll get it done. All right, so we got the music slider, SFX slider. So I think it's just going to be as simple as doing this. So if we do this, node private custom slider, music slider, node private custom slider, SFX slider, I should be able to do this. Public override void ready. Set initial value, options utils, music volume. Okay. Private void on music volume changed, on SFX volume changed. So now let's do this. gd.print options utils .sfx volume. I'm not going to turn on the music and sound effects to test this. Should be relatively easy to do. Because again, it's reading and writing to and from the bus volume levels. So if I'm just printing that, it should be fine. So if I go here now, turn this down. Yeah, so that's the music volume. You can see it's printing all the way down to 0. And so because I have getters and setters on this options utils, where these properties here, or these fields, I don't remember what they're called, but since it's just reading the bus volume and writing the bus volume directly from the Godot API, I can be reasonably confident that this is working. So that the volume is 0 when I drag it all the way over here, and the volume is 1 here, and the same for this one. So definitely recommend doing that if you're going to set up your options menus. Set up a getter and setter with some exposed variable that just reads and writes to and from the bus that you're trying to do. And that makes your life so much easier. Now for the button here, I usually do like an update display function, and then I will hook into the screen shake toggle button, for instance. Node private screen shake, no, button, screen shake toggle button. And in here what I'll do is I'll say screen shake toggle button dot pressed plus equals on screen shake toggle button pressed. Then what I'll do is here is camera shake disabled is equal to not is camera shake disabled. Can I not set this? Oh, I set this to private set. That's okay. We can just remove that. And then what I can do is call update display here. And then I update any of the options that have changed. So in here, it would be screen shake toggle button dot text is equal to is camera shake disabled off or otherwise on, and then I can call it here as well. So basically, anytime I'm loading up the options menu, it's going to set the initial value of the sliders to whatever the bus volumes are currently, and then it's also going to update the screen shake toggle button to whatever the current setting is. And then anytime that changes the screen shake toggle button, it gets pressed, it will invert that Boolean flag and then call update display again, so it's always up to date. And so now what I can do in here is load this up, and I can do screen shake off, switch these, and then the next time I open up the menu, all these things are going to be restored, like this visual display. So yeah, we're dealing with a situation where this is an entirely visual component that's using this options utils class as the store of data. So we're separating the data from the display, which is generally a pretty good pattern when you're doing UIs. You definitely don't want to put all of your options stuff inside of the UI. And because the reason is because eventually I'm going to want to save these options to some kind of configuration value like a JSON file, right? And that JSON file is going to be loaded at startup. So we're not even going to get into any of the UI at all when I want to set the initial options. So what I'll do in the future is I will save a JSON file based on this options data here, and then I'll read that JSON file and load it into this options data on startup. And so that's basically the big reason why you want to keep your data and your logic separate from your display. So you can do those kinds of operations to update the data outside of a context where there's UI. Anyway, so I think that's good. So now let's do this. I'm just going to copy this stuff, put this in my options menu. We need a dimmer rect. Node private button done button. Now I am copy and pasting some code here, which is, well, it's probably okay. I probably want to have a disabled property here. Public bool disabled get h slider dot disabled. Am I not allowed to disable it? I saw a grabber disabled. H slider. Oh, maybe I'm not allowed to disable it. Well, what I can do here is I can just set h slider dot mouse filter control mouse filter enum dot stop set h slider dot mouse filter is equal to value stop, otherwise ignore. I think stop is the default value for h sliders, right? Here. Mouse stop, yeah. So that's just an easy way of disabling it, I suppose. So now what I can do in here is I can say music slider disabled, s of x slider disabled, and then we'll change all these. Okay, that works. Private void. No, private bool is playing out. Private tween, active tween. Okay, and then we need a reference to the panel container. Okay. Any other errors want to come up and try to challenge me? No, I don't think so. Okay. All right, so now the next step is we got to actually spawn the options menu, which means I need another main menu button. But for now, let's just get it working in the pause menu. Oh, one other thing I want to do. On done pressed. Okay. Copy the UID of that. Game constants. Options menu UID. Do I want to do this? var options menu is equal to gd.load. Now we are going to need to, excuse me, we're going to need to intercept the escape button. I don't know, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Why am I not allowed to drag those? Did I forget to enable them? Oh, I think I flipped these. I think I flipped those on accident. Okay, I think this should work. Lurk. Still lurk in Neozoid? Isn't there a property called editable? Oh, is that what it is? Is there an editable property in the slider? If so, that would be easier. Oh, look at that. All right, then. Well, that's going to be easier. I'll just change this to .editable and then change this. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't know why it's not following the same nomenclature as the theme, but that's okay. That's a little bit simpler. Thank you, thank you. Godot's UI elements are pretty good. What trips me up are the name changes to HTML UI elements, line edit instead of input. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but you know, it's not an HTML system, so it makes sense why it's different. But yeah, if you come from an HTML background, that's definitely a little bit weird. So yeah, you can see that my sliders are now being preserved. So if I set them like this and I have the screen shake off and I open it back up, we've got this very nicely. And there we go. So yeah, that's working great, I think. Again, I'm not going to actually turn on the sound effects to test it. I'll do that off stream. I'm fairly certain that's going to work, but we can turn the screen shake. Let's just turn the screen shake off and make sure that works as well. So we should see no screen shake. Yep, no screen shake, and I can do this. Options, turn it back on, and here comes the screen shake again. Cool. Alrighty, so I need to add that to the main menu still. So that's something that I'll have to do, but I have to, because the main menu is different, I have to add like a scene element or like a piece of scenery that can be interacted with for the options in here. So because my main menu doesn't use traditional buttons. But yeah, so I'll have to draw something up for the options menu. Got to add some more life to this scene generally, but I think it's okay. I think it's all right. Okay. That wasn't too terrible. That wasn't too terrible. It's cool when you active the screen shake option when active, yeah. So the reason why, if you notice in my shaky camera, I'm still running all of the screen shake code, but then when it comes to determining the camera offset, I'm just checking to see if it's disabled and forcing it to 0. Otherwise, I'm using the shake offset. So that means I'm not messing with any of the screen shake calculations. Like I'm not interrupting. Like if I were to like disable this process method or whatever, or somehow gate the shake here, I could end up with a state where there's a screen shake that gets set to like 80% strength. I turn off the screen shake and it remains at 80% strength, such that when I go to turn the screen shake back on, my camera shakes suddenly, which is not, that big of a deal, but it's just a lot cleaner to let all the logic run as it normally would. And then just when it comes down to setting the offset, just check the option there and set it to 0 if it's disabled. Because then it's just totally consistent. There's basically no room for error. And you could say, well, it's doing a process when it doesn't need to, and that's true, but I'm big on prioritizing developer experience and predictability over like trying to minimize the resource usage on the player's system. That's just me though. Okay, so that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. I got to attend something at noon, so I'm going to hop off. But again, Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. It's the first line in the description below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. Again, we're getting very close to the playtest here. So I'm going to be launching the first devlog of this game alongside the Patreon, alongside the Discord channel, and alongside the Patreon exclusive playtest, which will last for like a week or two, and then the playtest will be open to the general public. So if you don't want to pay anything, that's totally fine. You don't have to support me financially. You'll still get an opportunity to do the playtest and to offer your feedback. The Discord will be open to the public generally, but then we'll also have Patreon exclusive channels. So, all this stuff will be available to everyone. It's just the people who are patrons will get early access to a lot of this stuff. So anyway, thank you again, everyone, for watching. Very much appreciate it. And I will see you here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll probably be doing some additional content on the remaining streams this week because there's not really a whole lot to do on stream with respect to getting the playtest ready. So used to you saying Retromortis feels weird. Yeah. Retromortis was a candidate for this game's name, but I didn't quite like it, so I used it for the Game Jam game. Anyway, thanks again, everyone. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, and have a great day. Bye-bye.